Well, good Tuesday, 7:06 as we are live right now, though this is recorded too, so you could catch the recorded version on your stream a little bit later on. Look at that view over the K. Oh, both days this week have been stunners. Good night for some baseball out there. And, we have good weather in the forecast too. This is not all bad. Let's see if I can get me down here a little bit. Look like a ton of headroom. There we go. That's more gooder. So, there's storms in the picture, though, too. This is our stormy season. We get into late April and May, and we see the transition. And there's a lot of weather systems coming by, and we tend to get in and out of thunderstorms. That's exactly what we have now. Before the jet stream, the storm track lifts to the north. That usually begins happening by about June, and then things just turn hot and a little bit more stale, and storms are still around but less frequent. So this is one of our wetter times of year, and you'll see that in the 7-day. But it's not going to be rain all day, and it's not going to be rain everywhere. So hop into it. This is a story as there is a slow-moving, just festering front to our north. And on the south side of that, you can see the grain-shaded zone. That whole area, it's not just us, is in and out of scattered thunderstorms. So we're on the wet side of this thing. The drier side is to the north, drier, but even there on the drier side, there's a little bit of rain. But just kind of like broad picture-wise, that's what we see. So we're going to be on the wet side of this through much of this week. And it won't be until late Friday. Sorry, this thing messed up on me. Get this fixed. It won't be until Friday afternoon that slides out to the east, and then our chances will really start to wind down a little bit. And that's going to last through Friday and Saturday before it comes back, and there's another round of wet weather on Sunday. And by the time it's all said and done, really through Friday, that's not even including the weekend, it's possible that we get up to, this is the forecast from the National Weather Service, and they've got an inch or two. In fact, heavy rain, especially on Thursday, is something that we're going to be watching for. It just depends, whenever we're looking at this kind of big picture setup, it's not like one focused system like a front or a specific low pressure system. This is just kind of showers and thunderstorms, and at times they may be more organized in some locations, and there's a shot that we get into some of that heavy rain, especially on Thursday. So an inch or two is possible by the end of the week. Let's take a closer look. The next 3 days tomorrow, a first warn is there just to say, hey, plans outside, weather could have an effect on your day. And this would be late in the day. We're talking evening. If you've got, baseball practice or a project you're working on, or you want to get out in the yard, might see some storms. It's a 40% chance. It's not a lock that you'll get it, but evening and night we'll have some scattered storms in the area. 76 be your high temperature, so it's still mild. It's going to be warm again on Thursday. Another first warn. This looks to be the best chance that you see rain. And it could be, especially in the afternoon and evening, where it starts to get somewhat widespread. I showed you by Friday we're starting to get on the back side of that front, so rain chances are coming down. We might still have a little bit in the morning, but odds are really dropping. We're at 30%. I think much of Friday is going to go off dry, and 70 is your high. So there's our camera view right now. Sunshine, spring weather. We're warm. We're at 75. We got to 79 in Kansas City, but we had a lot of 80s out there today. So the next 12 hours, we could see some storms as early as this evening and tonight. It's not a high chance. It's 30%, but it's a possibility. And look at how warm we are. I mean, we are in the 70s and 60s all the way until about just before the sun comes up tomorrow. And it's just a brief little drop into the upper 50s. So let's take a look at that. This is the forecast radar. And what we're waiting on, let me show you the actual radar first. And we're going to see if this line can actually get going or not, because it's iffy. This is one of these scenarios where storms are going to try to form, but will they be able to do it? Let's switch our radar here. And the zone that we're watching is this kind of line. Let's see if I can draw that for you. Kind of like this, something like that. So you can see how they're starting to go in south central Kansas. Will these connect further to the north and fire up kind of just west of Kansas City? That's one possibility. Another possibility is they may not be able to form. There's something called a cap in the atmosphere, and if that holds, then you really don't get much. It's like having a bottle cap on a bottle. You can shake the bottle up, nothing happens, but if you take the cap off, psh, blows up on you. So that's the question mark. So far, the cap is holding, and we're not getting much. So this computer simulation, if this is going to happen, it needs to get going here pretty quick, because once the sun goes down, we do start to lose energy and the likelihood of storms goes down. So nonetheless, over the next couple of hours, we'll be watching this zone. All right, so Lawrence, Atchison, St. Joe, it's possible that we have some scattered storms there. And then they try to slide east. If you're east of Kansas City, odds aren't very good that you get anything at all tonight, but we might get a little scattered rain, a few rumbles around KC and points west and north this evening and tonight. Now, there is a level 1 out of 5 severe risk. What that means is we don't expect severe weather. It's just possible that a strong storm or two could get going in there and produce a little bit of small hail and some gusty winds, maybe get a quick severe thunderstorm warning, but nothing widespread. And see, that level 2 zone is the better shot just west of Lawrence. That's outside of our coverage area, into central Kansas and south central Kansas, where they're already fired up. So that'll be the better odds. And then by tomorrow morning, there's a low shot that we still have some stragglers around. Now, this would just be rain. You could have a rumble, but nothing severe. So we'll keep that on the table, but I don't expect anything major as you start your Wednesday. No major delays, generally a green light. There's a low rain chance. You might have to kick the wipers on. And the kids at the bus stop might need, the umbrella briefly, but generally okay. Temperatures in the mid-50s there. Highs tomorrow, again, warm like today. There's going to be more cloud cover tomorrow, 76 in Kansas City, but we'll still have some 80s in spots, especially off to our south. So the rain chances on Wednesday, low 20% chance in the morning up till about 9. Then we're dry most of the day. Late in the day is whenever we see the odds pick up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's where it goes up to only 40%. So again, it's scattered. That's just the nature of the beast here lately. And you can see this is what we'll be tracking there. And the better shot is north of Kansas City. If you're north of Kansas City tomorrow evening, you've got like a 50, 60% chance. So like St. Joe, Maryville, Cameron, places like that. And if you look closely, you'll see little pink cells in there, like up around Maryville. You can see about 3 of them up there. That's the computer saying, hey, there could be a little hail in there. We'll see, and some gusty winds. And then through the night, that's that slow moving front that's going to be around. And you can see where the pockets of heavy rain may develop. It's going to be in zones. Not everybody's going to get heavy rain, but in spots where these storms just kind of linger, which may be north of Kansas City, on tomorrow night into Thursday morning, we've got that system coming through. And that also has a low severe risk, but we could see from 7 p.m. and into the night, Wednesday night late, a little bit of hail, a little bit of wind. We'll watch for that. It's not a big severe risk. So there's the 7-day, and 70s through the rest of this week, though Friday's coming back down. 70s, your high there. 30% rain chance. Saturday is the driest day in the forecast, which is good because we've got the marathon. It's the Olathe Garmin Marathon. And, probably going to be dry. Mid-50s, so good running weather there, really. Cloud cover. It doesn't look too windy. Temperatures in the 60s as we get into the afternoon. The race will be done by then. And then here, let's get you the full shebang. There's Sunday. So Sunday, we are highlighting as well that plans outside could be affected by weather. And let me show you why. 40% rain chance. It's a little bit more scattered looking today than it was in previous forecasts. But the first half of the day, some scattered thunderstorms. This is not a washout look like we had on Easter, but still some rain is in the picture. The afternoon looks like it's going to be clearing out for us some. So just heads up, you got stuff going on Sunday. Again, could be 2 wet Sundays in a row. Then 80s come back on Monday. Still, we have a chance. But each and every one of these days is storms are possible in the general area at times. None of these days are everybody gets rain all day long. None of them are washouts. So hopefully that kind of helps paint the picture for you a little bit and how it's expected to look. So that's the latest that we've got for you. Kristen, you're so welcome. We're going to have updates at 10 o'clock. We'll see if these things can get fired up out to our west or not. And if we're going to be dealing with any storms tonight, we might miss them. But then updates for tomorrow and the rest of this week, and trying to time these things out. I'm going to be honest. It's difficult with this kind of setup where you don't have like a certain strong feature to come through. It's just generally the atmosphere is conducive for thunderstorms, and we do our best to try to say it looks more likely at this time than this time. And we'll have more information like that coming up at 10. So I will see you there. In the meantime, enjoy this great night. Take care. Always appreciate you watching. Hope this was helpful. Bye-bye.